So good day, everyone, and we are going to be what? We are going to be talking about what? We are going to be talking about business process what reengineering. Business process what reengineering. And when we say business process reengineering, it's just a very straightforward word concept. And what business process reengineering just simply means is about what improving whatever the activities that we are doing. It's about what? It's about improving existing what activities. It's about what improving what existing what procedure that is already in what that's already in place. That is the word, that is the goal of what business process what reengineering. The process, that is the word, the goal of what BPR is about what improving the existing process. You're already doing it this way already. It's not a new process. But the goal of what business process reengineering is about improving the existing tasks that you have already. So that it will bring about what? So that it will bring about quality. So that we're able to achieve the goal of the organization. So that we're able to achieve our mission. Because every organization, you have to be what? You have to be innovative. You have to be thinking of what way of doing things better. You have to be thinking of what way of doing things better. The way of what? The way of doing things better. So that is the goal of what business process reengineering. Business process reengineering is the process of recreating a core business process with the goal of improving what? Improving output quality or reducing what? Cost through what? Introduction of what? Introduction of IT. So we say that what business process reengineering is about what? Is about improving what? Is about improving process. Is about what? Improving process. The process that you have already. There's always a better way of what of doing things. So when we want to introduce a better way of what of doing things now, there's an element of what? Introduction of what? Of IT. There's the element of what? Introduction of what? Of IT here. So the way of what doing things can also bring about what? Can also bring about reduction in what? Reduction in cost. Just like some of us that you are writing what? Cost accounting. In your cost accounting, there's also one of the aspects of your syllabus is what we call what? Modern cost accounting technique, or sometimes we call it what? Modern management accounting technique. And one of them, if you was, don't worry, you are going to get there, or maybe some of us has passed cost accounting before. You are going to get what I'm saying now. That there's a word, if you look at the word, the last aspect of your word, of your syllabus, you are going to be saying what? Modern management accounting technique, or you call it what? Modern cost accounting technique, where you are going to be talking about what? Kaban. You are going to be talking about what? JIT. Although you are going to be talking about JIT in your thing, in under your inventory control, where you'll be talking about minimal level, maximum level, and the rest like that. There's the element of what? Of JIT. And JIT is just about what we call just in time. It's about what? No inventory, no closing inventory. We are only going to produce if you receive order. And I'm only going to buy material as well if I receive order. We have two types of what? Of JIT. There's what we call JIT production, and there's also what we call what? JIT what? Purchasing. And the goal of what? Of JIT just in time is we want to eliminate what? Inventory. Because inventory holding come with what? Cost. Inventory holding come with what? Cost. You can remember how you calculate your what? Your holding cost. You can remember how you calculate your what? Your carrying cost under what? Economic order quantity. So the goal of what? The business process engineering is about what? Improving the process. It's about doing it in a better way through the what? Through the introduction of what? Through the introduction of IT. Meaning that what? If I'm thinking of what? Introducing a what? A better way of what? Of doing things now. There's an element of what? There's an element of information technology that will be embedded in that process. It seeks to help what companies radically what restructure their organization by focusing on what on round-up redesign of what of their business process. It means changing process fundamentally, changing it what radically. Just like, for example, now you are what you have inventory before. You are not thinking of introducing what JIT now. You can see now that is a word, a radical word process. It's a fundamental word, it's a fundamental change. And there's no how you are going to introduce what JIT now without the help of what of IT. Especially nowadays, is there anything you do in your factory without the help of IT? Without you not using what any element of IT? There's few of them. So business process engineering is about getting things doing in a better way. It's about getting things doing in a better way through the help of what of IT. Business process engineering involve what changes in structure and process within the business. You know, if you remember in our previous section, we talk about change management. We talk about what change management. So in business process engineering, there's a change. But the goal of what BPR is about whatever we are doing, there's always a better way of doing things. There's always a better way of doing it. So we are going to rely on IT now when we are trying to work to bring about a better way of doing things. So please don't forget that is the meaning of BPR. Business process reengineering is the process of recreating a core business process. It's not really just minor process. A core business process. You are having inventory before, and you are saying that you don't want to have any closing inventory. That is a word. It's come with a fundamental change. It's come with a radical change. So when you are not thinking of what now, when you're not thinking of such now, that means that there has to be some words. There has to be some BPR in place. So now what now bring about what business process engineering? Don't forget the idea of BPR. Business process engineering is about what? Is about doing better, is about performing better. Whatever the process that we are doing, we can improve it. We can do it in a better way. And the process that we are talking about here is not just a minor process. It's not just receiving what's invoice. It's our core process. We are trying to improve our core process. That is the idea of business process engineering. That is what we are trying to That is what we are trying to recreate. That is what we are trying to redesign. It's not just a minor process that we are trying to improve on. We are trying to improve on our on our core process, on our core business process. Business process reengineering is not just about, before you enter the factory, everybody must use these elements. Or there should be a machine, there should be some there should be some check, there should be some machine that will detect people that are not complying with the process. No, the idea of business process reengineering is not a minor process. That someone is not wearing elements, is not using his glove. No, those are minors in some cases. Business process reengineering is trying to recreate a core business, improving a core business with the help of IT. So what factors bring about that? Just like what we talked about in our previous section. What bring about change? What bring about change? It may be as a result of markets. It may be as a result of our competitors. It may be as a result of new management policy. It may be as a result of new CEO. So what factors trigger adoption of business process reengineering? Poor performance of the old process. The old process is not the old one that we are using is not good. The old one that we are the old one that we are using is not what is not good. That's the reason why we are thinking of what now? Business process reengineering. The obsolescence, that one is out of date. Is manual system. Breakdown of existing machine. As a breakdown, the machine has not been worked up for like 2 days now. We have not been able to produce. Another thing that can work, that can make management to think of what business process reengineering may be as a result of your performance from your competitors. Your competitors is what is doing fine. They have changed their process. Look at some more. There are some banks that nowadays that maybe there are some banks that maybe before you have to feel like what 5 teller, but now just fill one, and we give you we give you a printout. It's just one copy. Just write the name of deposit, fill in the details. Just give us. There are some banks that okay, you fill this one, there will be a copy. They ask you to drop one copy in one box. You fill a logbook. No, in business process reengineering, we are trying to do what? We are trying to improve our core process. Oh, if you have any feedback for us, write a letter, drop it in a box. No, there are some technology that you can there are some technology that you can use that, oh, as you are going out, you ask that, oh, how do you feel? Are we able to service you better when you visit our bank today? It's just for you to just tap yes or no. What area do you think that we can improve on? Yes or no? Just fill in. The process is already breakdown already, just for you to just click. So if I discover that my competitors is doing that, that can also trigger the adoption of what business process reengineering in this particular company as well. Changing in your customer expectation. Your customer need more what? They need more things. Your customer wants you to what? The way you are servicing them, they want a better way. They want a better way. They want a new way. So that can bring about what? Business process reengineering. Okay. To secure a better management, to improve your efficiency, to reduce your costs, to reduce waste. These are what? These are some of the things that can bring about, or these are some of the things that can bring about. These are some of the things that can bring about change. That can bring about what? That can bring about business process reengineering. Okay. So these are the reasons. Please don't forget. The goal of what business process reengineering is to improve our core process, to improve the organization core process with the help of what? Through the help of IT, through the uses of IT. What now bring about it? We say poor performance of the old process, obsolescence of the old process, breakdown of the existing machines and equipment, the trend from your competitors, changing in trend of your customer expectation. Your customer, the expectation that expectation from your customer now is very, very is very, very high. To secure a better management, to improve your efficiency, to reduce your costs, because that's one of the most important one as well. And that's one of the things you'll be talking about in cost accounting. To reduce waste. So area that business process reengineering can come, it can be from what business process reengineering can affect each of these. Business process reengineering can do what? Can affect each of these. Your e-learning, just like most libraries now should have e-learning. There are some things that you need to do online. It does not really need that you have to physically you have to be physically present at that particular location. There's also e-marketing as well. in terms of how you market your word, in terms of how you market your product now. E-payments. If you want to pay for your ICAN exam now, you can pay online. They also have what online learning as well, just like what you are receiving now. It's through the word, it's through the help of what technology. In business process engineering, it's about introducing a word, introducing change to the core process, to your core business process, through the help of what? Through the help of IT. Your ATM also bring about what? So is as a result of business process engineering. Your manufacturing process, the virtual meeting that you have on Teams, on Google Meet, your Microsoft Teams, and the rest. Your payroll process, your inventory control, your customer complaint, employee appraiser, HR, contract bidding and approval, online office. So it is what? It is more what business process engineering cut across even more than this example that we have here. That these are areas that organization can leverage on through the use of what business process engineering. Areas of adoption of what business process engineering. E-learning, please don't forget. Areas for adoption of what business process engineering. E-learning, e-marketing, e-payment, ATM, manufacturing process, your virtual meeting, your payroll, your inventory control, your customer complaint, employee appraisal. Yeah, more those. What is not the word? Let's not talk about the objective of what of business process engineering. What's the objective of what business process engineering? Why are we talking about it? What is business process engineering? What is it trying to what to address? Please don't forget, we say business process engineering is the what? Is a process of recreating. It's a process of new things, improving the existing one, existing what? Existing process, existing core process, with the goal of what? With the goal of improving the output quality, reducing costs. Through what? Through the help of what? Through the help of IT, through the introduction of IT. What can that bring about it? What factors influence it? These are factors that influence it. Area for adoption. Within your organization, these are areas that you can, the business process engineering can be of help. Or instead of your customer paying through the bank, instead of you every time, oh, it's cash payment, why can't you open a bank account? Oh, your customer must go to the bank to go and pay. Why can't you have online words, online payment as well? Okay. ATM, manufacturing process, virtual payroll claim, and the rest like that. What is not the objective? Why are we talking about what? Why are we talking about business process engineering? When applying what business process engineering management technique, a business organization, the implementation effort is to focus on the following objectives. These are the objectives of business process engineering. Every business process engineering, please, what are we talking about? Every organization have goal. The purpose of you having business process engineering is to improve your service. You are improving your service for who? For your customer. So everything, majority of things that we are talking about in business process engineering, the idea of business process engineering is for us to improve our service. So that if we improve our service, our customer will be happy. And if our customer is happy now, we're able to enjoy a competitive advantage. We're able to have a competitive edge that, oh, you are happy with us now. We know that, oh, if you want to buy this product, you still come and buy from us. If you need this particular service, you still come and meet us to render. So that is the goal of what business process engineering. So every business process engineering must pay attention to this, must be related to customer focus. A customer service oriented process is aiming at eliminating customer complaint. When customer is what is complaining is more is bad. Oh, I can't access the online and the online video, the previous class, and you keep on complaining and nothing is being done. It's a problem. Is a problem. So every business process engineering must be towards improving your customer focus. When we are implementing any business process reengineering, whether it's through online office process, contact bidding and approval, HR recruitment, employee appraisal, customer complaint, inventory control, e-learning, e-market, whatever the aspect of business process engineering that we are trying to adopt, it must be we must have this in place, must be customer focus. Another objective is speed, to be able to deliver the product and service on time. Compression, cutting down a prolonged process in order to cut costs and reduce waste in the value chain. Compression. Oh, this just if you look at some public sector, oh, this person needs to sign, this person needs to sign, this person needs to sign. You can see that the process is getting long. Just like maybe I can remember maybe during my undergrad, if you want to go for words, you have to register when you are going for work for NYC, at least after the graduation, your name is already with the Senate already. You have to sign from you go to library to sign, you go to this particular hostel to maybe hostel that you do not even stay in the hostel. They still ask you to go and sign. Or you go to the library. So maybe some of us did not even have library card. That maybe I borrow any library book that I did not return. So you can see that the process is a little bit is long. So all this process now can be compressed together. You have to be trekking from one particular ETF, one particular building to another building. No. The goal of business process engineering is compress all this. Oh, even though you want me to sign from different, but everybody, they are in the same building. It's not just for me, I work from this particular building, you go to another building, you work. No. So the goal of business process engineering is also to compress service, to reduce waste in the value chain, to reduce time. You can say the second one is speed. To deliver they need to deliver product and services faster. Flexibility. Changing the condition and activities of the competitors can force organization to adopt a new process and restructure. Quality is also very, very important. That is one of the reasons why we also need to have a business process in engineering to improve our quality. And our quality will be it will be improved if we're able to recreate, if we're able to redesign our core process with the goal of improving quality. Because that's the definition that we just look about now. Business process engineering is a process of recreating a core business process with the goal of improving our output in terms of quality, so that we're able to reduce costs with the help of through the help of IT. So quality is also another very, very important thing of you having a business process engineering. Innovation, there's always a better way of there's always a better way of doing things. There's always a better way of doing things. So every organization must be ready for that. Productivities. Business process engineering improve drastically indices of effectiveness and efficiency in the organization. If you're able to improve your core process, if you're able to improve your core process, productivity will be increased, innovation will be eliminated, or it will be improved, quality of service will improve, there will be flexibility, there will be compression, there will be speed, and it will be on customer focus. And you can see now that the goal of productivity is innovation, quality, flexibility, compression, and speed is on customer focus. It's on what? It's on customer focus. It's on this customer focus. Everything that we are trying to do is for what? It's for the benefit of the customer. It's for the benefit of this. It's for the benefit of the customer. So please, these are objective. These are the importance of having what? A business process engineering. It should be on what? Customer focus, speed, compression, flexibility, quality, innovation, and what? Productivity. So if you now want to implement what? Business process engineering, what are the what? What are the steps? What are the what? What are the what? What are the steps? What are the stages? Now, when we want to implement what business process engineering, that we need to what? We need to pass through. So these are the words, these are the process. Business process engineering can be implemented in stages in an organization as it bring about what drastic and what dramatic change. The following stage can be what can be identified. So that if you want to implement what business process engineering, that if you want to change your what, if you want to change your core business process, with the goal of what? Improving what? Quality. So that you're able to reduce costs through the help of what? Through the help of IT. Whether on your what? On your HR, whether on your e-payment, your e-learning, your payroll, contract, recruitment, whatever the process is. If you want to implement a business process engineering, these are some of the stages that you need to pass through. Number one, envision stages. The company reviewed the existing strategy and business process, and based on that review, the business process for improvement are targeted and IT opportunity are what are identified. So the first one you do is what? Envision. Meaning that what? Review the existing one. You know, our goal in business process engineering is not really to new things. It's about improving the existing one, improving the existing one. The process is already there already. We are just trying to do what? We are just trying to improve it. We are just trying to recreate a new process, a new improved process. So if you now want to do that, we need to first of all review the existing one. Oh, this is how we are doing it before. We need to review it so that we're able to identify the loopholes in the existing one so that it will help us to come up with the new one. The next stage is what we call diagnosis stages. Documentation of the process and the sub-process take place in terms of what? Process attributes, in terms of what? The activities, in terms of the resources, in terms of the communication, the role, the IT, and the cost. So meaning that what? The first stage is what? Envision stages. Meaning that, oh, you look at the old process. Then through the old, looking at the old process, you're able to discover that, oh, the way we are doing it is not really good. Then we'll come to a stage one now. We already we come up with a better way of doing it. Then at stage one, in stage one, at the end of stage one, we have a better way of doing it. So at what now? At stage two, which is what we call diagnosis stage. Documentation of the process in terms of the process that we have the new process that we have identified in stage one. We now need to do the documentation. We need to come up with a plan. We need to come up with a documentation of that new process. Then the third one is redesign stage. New process design is developed by division process design alternative through a brainstorm and creativity technique. Redesign. The first stage is envision stage. In envision stage, you look at the old process, then you come out with the better way of doing things. In the second stage is that you document the new process that you have come up with. In the third stage is what we call redesign. New process design is not developed. In the second stage, when we say the diagnosis stage, that new process that you have introduced, you document it. The third stage is now what we call you now develop, you now start working on that new process. The first stage is that what you review the old one that you are the old process. Then at the end of what stage one, you come up with a better way of doing it, with a new process. The second stage is now what that new stages that you have come up with, you will not document it. You will not do what? You will not document it. Then the stage three is now what you have documented in stage two, you will now start developing it. You will now start taking action. So at stage one now, it's just that, we have identified it. At stage two, we do the paperwork. At stage three now, we do the implementation. We take the actions. Okay? All right? Now, at we now have the fourth stage, which is what we call reconstruction reconstruction stage. Reconstruction stage. Management technique change occur to ensure smooth migration. To ensure smooth migration. So at the reconstruction stage, management will now management, the change will now be this is like the change is about to be implemented now. But management need to come up with with a migration plan. With a migration plan to the new process. Because let's say, for example, now you have identified, at the end of stage one, that we are using manual. We are keeping or let's say, for example, you are using Excel to do to keep record of some of your financial transactions. That is the way we are doing it before. But the stage at the end of stage one, you review the old process. We are using Excel, and I think there's a new better way. There's a new process we can use. We can now start using accounting software. So at the end of stage one, and you come you have already identified using accounting software. So at stage two, you do the paperwork, you do the documentation. At stage three now, you implement it. Then at stage four is that you now need to come across with the implementation plan, just like you want to change over now. Just like I make mention earlier, some of us will remember in our IT, you have different way of migration from new system to old system. And one of the most popular one is parallel changeover. So management now need to take the decision that this new system, are we going to operate it in line with the old one? And once we get used to the new one, we are going to do we are going to eliminate the old one and continue using the new one. So management technique change occur to ensure smooth migration to the new process responsibility. Because this new system that you are implementing now, it come up with new responsibility. It's come up with with new resources. That if you are trying to implement this, you need to have IT support. You need to have some people that will support you. You need to have especially people that will be in charge of receiving complaint that I'm not able to log in. I'm having this issue. I'm having this and that. You need to have people. That's the resources that are able to from finance department. Someone said that you can't log into the you can't log in. So you need to have people in place and you need to have the resources in place because this new process that you are trying to implement now, it's come up with its own tasks. It's come up with its own responsibility. Then evaluation stages, which is the last one. The new process is monitored to determine if the goal are met and examine the total quality program. We need to check whether we need to check. So anything that you have implemented, whatever any resolution that you have come up with, you need to do we need to evaluate it. We need to keep on monitoring. So these are the what? These are the implementation stages when you want to implement business process reengineering. The first stage is about what? Review the old one and come up with a what? Come up with a better way. The second one is what? Document the what? The new the better way. The third one, implement it. The fourth one is what? Have the necessary resources. Have the what? Have the necessary resources in what? In place that the new system will be demanding. And the fifth one is what? You have to keep on monitoring the what? The new one, whether it's achieving the what? Whether it's achieving the goal. Okay. So what are now the what? The benefit of having what? What are the benefits of implementing it? That is passing all through these 5 stages now. What are the benefits of introducing what? Business process reengineering? And you know the word, the meaning of business process engineering, that business process engineering is the process of recreating a word, a core business process, recreating a word, a core business process, coming up with a better way of word of doing things. Coming up with a word with a better way of word of doing things. That is the goal of words. That is the goal of business process engineering. So what are now the benefits? It gives can appropriate what focus to what to business actually revolve around what customer need, because that's the goal. If you are trying to what to bring up a new process now, the objective is for you to be able to serve your customer. That's the best. That's the objective. There's nothing more than that. This is like the main motive of what, and every other benefit now is towards the what for you to be able to serve the need of your customer. So the benefit of implementing a business process engineering is it gives an appropriate focus to business as it involves around what customer, so that we're able to achieve your goal. Business process engineering helps in what? In building a strategic views of operational procedure by taking a radical what inquiry about how process and what are improved and how things could be done. Because in business process engineering, it's come with what? It come with learning as well. Because we want to do what? Before you can do what? Before you can improve, before you can develop a new one, it come with what? Understanding the what? Understanding the existing one, understanding the what? The existing process. So it's helped to build a what? A strategic view. It's helped to what? To increase our what? It's helped to better our operational, our day-to-day. It's also helped to what? To better our strategic. You know, when we say something is strategic, it's about what? It's about future. It's about what? Future. When we say something is what? Operational. Operational is about what? Day to day. Operational is about what? Day to day. So business process engineering helped in what? In building a strategic view of operational procedure by taking what? Radical words inquiry about how processes improve and how things could be what could be done. It eliminates what? Unnecessary activities and thereby help in what? In reducing organization work. So just like my case I'm using going for NYC, you go to what? To the register, from the register you go to student affairs. So you start what? You start trekking just to go to some office that they are not what? They are not around. So the goal of what business process engineering is to eliminate. There are some processes that is too complex in what in university, honestly. There are some things that they have to do. So if you have a business process engineering, it will eliminate on complex activities. There are some things that, oh, 2 people is enough. Sign from this particular one, let this particular review. Or having 3 people is enough rather than what you have like 10 and all of them need to sign. So it can imagine such what stress that what even the customer or any of the stakeholders will want to go through. Business process engineering helps to what? To coordinate and integrate what? Several functions what? Immediately. It helps to integrate. Because once we eliminate what process, the remaining process that is in place, they'll work together. They will integrate together. Business process engineering provide improved what? Viability and adequacy to an organization by eliminating delay and unessential phases of operation and management. unessential. There's something that is not necessary. That is not what? That is not necessary. Just like, for example, now let's say Nigerian have a word. If Nigeria really have a word, a good word, IT. Even word, once you have your word, your national identification number, it is not even, there's not even need of you keying for word for BVN. Your BVN could have been generated what automatically. So it's like having word, once you just have one number, is enough for you to, you are using your national identity, NIN now. Everything that you need is linked to that NIN. Your BVN is linked to it. Maybe your tax identification number is linked to. So there's no need of queuing to register for, oh, there's a new thing and you have to register. No. Once you have one through business process reengineering, it will eliminate you from queuing. Or maybe you want to have what? You want to have a voter's card. Once you have what NIN now, it already generated just for you to sign up that, oh, my previous data that I used for what my NIN, I want to use it for my what? For my voter's card. And that's all. You don't need to start queuing again to what? To register. Since you already have your word, your NIN is already there. It's just to do a what? A data what? Migration. So through business process reengineering, it will eliminate all these unnecessary. Oh, federal government wants to do what? Census. It's just for what? IT can also help. Look at the amount that we budgeted for what? For you to conduct census. If you really have a good data, there's no, I don't think country of nowadays need to be saying that what I want to be doing physical counts of people. No, it's as a result of what? Lack of data. It's as a result of what's not integrating. At least if you're in city now, okay, tell us your location. Just tell them, okay, maybe go to this cafe or go to this. Then let people sign on, oh, I am this particular location. This is where I stay. I stay in this particular world. And that's all. So maybe people in the world, in the rural area that does not have access onto the internet, then you cannot start budgeting for it. And having their NIN now is also what is also better, just for them to top print, oh, I am there, rather than doing a physical count. Which is what you can see now. Idea of business process engineering is to reduce costs. If there's a good business engineering, if there's a good IT implementation, federal government will not be thinking of doing census again, honestly. So it reduces the numbers of chairs, control, and reconciliation process. And another one is what it helps to overcome what short-sighted word approach that usually words emerge from excessive word concentration on functional word boundaries. So these are the benefits. The last thing that we are going to talk about in this business process reengineering is the limitation. Limitation of what business process word reengineering. Limitation of what business process word reengineering. Business process word reengineering is not always easy, to be honest, because you want to eliminate one process and introduce another word and introduce another process. There has been some challenges revolving around the uses of business process reengineering since from the inception, like objection, issues, problem. Business process reengineering disadvantage includes some of these. But despite some of these advantages, you still need to have it. It's still good. The advantage still supersedes that of the disadvantage. You know, in life, there's nothing that really have advantage sometimes to have a disadvantage. But the advantage should be more than the disadvantage. So business process reengineering is what is good, despite some of these disadvantage that we want to be making what we want to talk about briefly now. And let me start from the last one. There's a lack of resources and tools. It may be the limitation, because it comes with a lot of resources. And that's why you can see the last stages, the reconstruction stages is about what? Resources. Is about what? Is about resources. business process. So if you are introducing a business process oriented, it comes with its own resources. An organization must try as much as possible to be able to provide the necessary resources, the necessary responsibility in place. So lack of resources is a problem. Lack of expertise to implement the new process. You may have the idea at the stage one, but the skills may not be there. The expertise may not be there. So it's not really going to be successful. Lack of recognition of the problem, because if you can't, well, the stage one is what? Envision stages. If you can't identify the problem, if you can't identify the loophole in the existing one, then you can't come up with a new word, with the new things. It is only when you're able to identify, oh, this old way that I'm doing is not really the best, then that is now when you can come up with a new thing. Lack of time to focus on improving business process. One department may be optimized at the expenses of others. It can replace human when it comes to getting the job done. And so because sometimes business process engineering, you can start thinking of robots, which sometimes is going to eliminate it's going to eliminate human. So, and that may lead to what? To unemployment. It might require a substantial investment in IT, because there's no how you want to implement business process engineering without without the IT. And there's some software that you need to use that are very, very expensive. That are very, very expensive. So it costs in terms of what human, is also come in terms of what deployment of the software. So it requires a substantial investment in IT, along with proper planning. Significant upon longly income collaboration of a business, which not only take some time, some effort to take the shape, but it is hard to gush as well. Meaning that there are some process that it is very, very it is very, very difficult for you to implement it. It is very, very it will require a lot of to require a lot of times. It will require a lot of financial resources for you to be able to kickstart it. And business process engineering process does not provide immediately solution. Oh, sorry, it concentrates significantly. They are together. Business process engineering does not provide immediately solution. It concentrates significantly upon or overvalue collaboration. It doesn't tell us immediately, because look at the stages that you need to pass through, sir. It's not something that will just tell you, oh, this is the best way. You can say that out to you, this is the best way. Another person can also come up with his own idea. Another person can also come up with his own idea. So business process engineering does not really tell us that, oh, this is the best way. It's not a one-way traffic. It's not a tick box approach. In some cases, efficiency of one department was improved at the expense of another department. Oh, we introduced business process engineering in the manufacturing. So the manufacturing is fine. But what about the what about the warehouse? What about what about other departments? Okay. So these are the limitation of business process engineering. Let me make a brief recap of that, what we talk about. And this is where we are going to talk in today's class. There's another aspect that is left, which is what we call organization effectiveness. Business process reengineering is a process of recreating a core business process with the goal of improving output quality or reducing costs through the introduction of IT. What are the factors that influence that? Poor performance of the old one, obsolescence of the old one, breakdown of the existing machines and equipment, trend from our competitors. We are trying to reduce costs. We are trying to improve efficiency, to secure a better management, to reduce waste. Area that you can watch, area for adoption of what business process reengineering can come in terms of e-learning, e-marketing, e-payment, ATM, your manufacturing, your virtual, your payroll, and the rest. What are the objectives? Focus on customer speed, compression, the flexibility, the quality, the innovation. What are the stages that you need to watch if you want to implement business process reengineering and vision? Diagnose, you redesign, reconstruction, and what evaluation. And vision stage is about what understanding the what the previous one and bringing up the new one. Diagnosing is what documenting the new one. The redesign is about what developing the new one, implementing it. The first stage is about what bringing up the necessary resources that the business process reengineering would need. And the last part is about what evaluating it, checking whether the business process reengineering is also what is also working, is also meeting your demand. And these are the benefits. And we also talk about the limitation. And in other words, let me just make a brief recap of this. This is what we are going to be talking about in words in the next class by God grace. But please, before that, have a look at it. We call it what organization what effectiveness. Organization what effectiveness. And from the word effectiveness, the term organization what effectiveness describe the degree to which organization realizes what is goal. Let me just make a general overview of it within less than 5 minutes now. So please read it in words in advance. When we meet in the words in the next class, we'll finish it up. So when we say the term organization effectiveness, it describes the degree to which organization realizes what is goal. It can be noted that the goal can be realized effectively by sharing information, quickly and timely decision, sharing awareness of tasks and responsibility within the organization. So effectiveness is about what? Getting your meeting your goal. Effectiveness is about what? Meeting your goal. Effectiveness, whatever the task that the goal that you have set. Once, if you are meeting your goal, it means that you are effective. Oh, effectiveness cannot come in various ways. But if you are meeting whatever the goal is, if you are meeting whatever the target is, it means that there's effectiveness. If you are meeting whatever the goal is, whatever the target is, it means that there's effectiveness. Once you are meeting your goal, it means that the organization is effective. So effectiveness, when you are not meeting your goal, it cannot come from from various angles. It can come from various angles. It can come from you can set a goal relating to productivity. You can set a goal relating to integration. You can set a goal in terms of adaptation to your external environment that we talk about in our early class, our political environment, the economic environment, the social, the technology, the ecology, and the legal. So if you want to measure your effectiveness, if you want to measure your effectiveness, these are some of the indicators that you can use to measure your effectiveness. But when you say effectiveness means that you are achieving your goal, you are meeting your goal. So what are now the indicators? What are now the criteria that you can use to measure organization effectiveness? You can measure them in terms of their how are you able to adapt to your external environment, your integration, your productivities, your goal attainment, your efficiency, political effectiveness, your survival and control over your environment. You able to survive? Your growth. There are many. Let me just be taking the one that are very straightforward. Profitability. Optimization of your resources. Resources are scarce. Whatever the resources that you have, you are using it in economy. That you are eliminating waste. So these are indicators that you can use to measure your organization effectiveness. Effectiveness means you are meeting your goal. You are meeting your you are meeting your goal. How can we now measure organization effectiveness? What criteria can we use? What indicators can we use? These are various indicators that we can use. How do you adapt to your external environment, your integration, your work productivity, your goal attainment, your survival, organization work, or optimization of your resources, flexibility to environmental work change, your growth, your stability and achievement. What have we able to achieve? We can measure the organization effectiveness towards that. What have you able to achieve? Okay. So if you want to measure what organization effectiveness, there are various words, there are various approaches that what we can use. There are like 4 of them. We have what we call was system resources approach. Please, I would like us to have a look at this. We also have what we call internal process words, internal process approach. There's goal approach, and there's another one, I think, okay. Those are words, they are basically what? They are basically 3. And we also have what? Existing words, existing model, meaning that we have some model that we can use to what? We can use to evaluate what? Organization what? Effectiveness. We can, and they are what? And they are 4. And those are the, I think those are the last. So apart from the model, there's not anything left in what? In organization what? Effectiveness. The last subheading is just the words existing model that we can use to measure what? Organization effectiveness. Existing model that we can use to what? To measure what? Organization what? Effectiveness. So please have a look at them. The next class we are going to be what? We are going to make a what? A brief recap of what of them. What are the existing model that we can use to measure what? Organization effectiveness. We have the command team effectiveness, dynamic what? 5 factors model, the what? The star model, and we also have the what? The 7X model. The 7X what? The 7X model. And the 7X is a very, very what? Is a very important model, and which when you get to professional, you're also going to be talking about it. You see this particular what? This particular model. You see this, we have this particular X is divided into 2, which is part of the note as well. There's what we call add X, and there's also what we call soft X. You see this green one that you're looking at, they are what we call add X. Strategy, structure, and system. We call it what? Add X. And when we say add X, they are very, very easy to identify, and they are very, very easy to manage. When we say what? This particular X, now there are 7X, is divided into 2. There's what we call add X, and there's what we call soft X. The add X are the one in what? In green. Strategy, structure, and system. Why the what? The soft X are the share value, the skills, the staff, and the style. And you see the soft X, they are the most difficult one. They are the most difficult one to manage and to identify. They are the most difficult one to what? To identify and what? And manage. But the soft X, they are very, very what? They are very, very easy to identify and what? And manage. So please have a look at what? Have a look at these 4 words. Have a look at these 4 existing model. In the next class we talk about it. And another task that I'm also giving out is what? Is just 3 heading under organization what? Effectiveness. Criteria for measuring organization effectiveness, approach to measure organization effectiveness, and the 4 model, the existing model to measure what? Organization what? Effectiveness. That is just the word, the 3 things that is here. What are the criteria that we can use to measure organization what? Effectiveness? What are the words? What are the approach to measure organization effectiveness, which is 3: system resources approach, internal resources approach, and we also have what we call what? Goal approach. Goal approach, internal process approach, and we also have what we call system resources approach. So apart from the 3 approach to measure what? Organization effectiveness, the next thing that we talk about is the existing model to what? The existing model to evaluate what? Organization what? Effectiveness. The command team effectiveness model, the dynamic 5 factors model, the star model, and we also have the 7X model. So let's stop here for today. Continuing the words in the next class. And we stopped with what? We started with what? We started with business process reengineering. What does business process reengineering mean? It's about what? It's about improving the existing one, improving the existing core process. We talk about factors that influence that we are doing it this way before. We are not thinking of what doing it in another way. What bring about it? Area that business process reengineering can cover. The objective, implementation, the 5 stages, benefit, and we also talk about the limitation. So my people, let's stop here for today. We'll continue in the words in the next class by God's grace. Please, do we have any questions?